So as you can see, the truck's outside, which means it's mostly done. It runs, it drives, it has exhaust. So this video is going to start with the last one left off, and then we'll end up going for a drive in this thing. Let's get into it. So as of right now, that's my shifter. It's real nice, but it doesn't work very good and it's kind of ugly. Took a while to pick out a shifter. There's a few brands for trucks, so they have a little longer handle. There's a Mr. Gasket one that it probably would have worked, but there was a few things that I didn't like about it. Low Car makes one. That one looked pretty nice, but it didn't even come with the handle, so you had to buy that too. So this is the one that I decided to go with. For a few reasons, it does have the neutral safety switch. It's pretty nice. It's got detents for every gear. It's for a 3 or 4 speed. It's also cable shifted, so you can mount it anywhere. That's pretty handy. Eventually I want to put the manual transmission back in here, and then maybe I can use this in a van or something. Should work in about any vehicle. So that was also a bonus too. Here's your shifter. You can see the different detents on there. Right here, your neutral safety switch. There's the boot for it. There's the chrome ring. Bolts. Here's all your brackets. And this is the cable. I think this will work pretty nice in this. Just gotta figure out how to mount it now. Well, I think I got it positioned in a good spot. I got a couple self-tappers holding it. Was able to use the original hole. Just gonna have to make like an L bracket right, this area here. Fill that hole, mount it down, and it should be good. So I made my template for covering the hole in the floor. Just using some cardboard. We'll cut it out in some metal. Don't worry, I'm going to use genuine Ford metal. So we're getting to the point of the build where it needs exhaust. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to put some stacks on it. Make it kind of look like a Dodge Little Red Express. So I already removed the step. I'm just going to show you how I'm going to mount this, because it might come in handy for somebody else later on. But I took all the bolts out of the bed here. I'll put this piece of angle iron in there. Got all my holes drilled already. Test fit it. This is 1/8 inch by 1.5 inches. And I made these brackets. This is 3/16 by 3 inch. I'm going to weld that onto the angle iron, and that's what I'm going to mount the exhaust stacks on. I think it'll work pretty good. We'll find out, I guess. I already have an appointment with the exhaust shop, so I need to get this done so I can drop it off and get everything hooked up. I think it'll be pretty cool. Kind of sucks that I took the step off here. I think I'm going to try to move them to the back of the bed. We'll get to that when that time comes. It's going to take a little fabrication to figure out too. Also had to grind one edge of the washer on the bolts. so that they would clear the edge of the angle iron. So I got the brackets welded onto the angle iron. Don't look at the welds. That's not what's important. Here's the plan. Here's this side is on. Plan is to run the exhaust clamps through it to mount it. So now I gotta get everything set up, figure out where to drill the holes to mount the clamps. Then I can bull everything up, get it test fit, pull it all back apart, paint it, assemble it one more time. So now we're in the blue van. You can tell because, well, the engine's blue and you're looking at the back of it. I'm in here for two reasons. One, I need a good carburetor for the truck. Two, I already have a carburetor for this van. I tried it out last year. I knew the jets were too big. I just wanted to test it. The jets were definitely too big. So I just finally got those changed. And we're going to swap these carbs out. This is a 750 Holly. And this one is a 600. It's been a pretty good carburetor on this van. I think I've run it for about 4 or 5 years now. But it is a little too small for the engine. So upgrade. Since both the carburetors are off right now, I thought I'd do a little side-by-side comparison. As you can see, the fuel intake's the same on both of them. Well, pretty close. But other than that, they're pretty different. They both have the sight glass and the float bowl. This one's here and that one's there. And where they start getting different is to maintenance this one, you gotta take off the bowls on each end. With this one, the top comes off like an Edelbrock. And then another thing that's different is our mixture screws are here on the side of this metering block. With on this carburetor, it's down in the base. But they are both vacuum secondaries, which is good for street. I was just getting ready to change the carburetor. I looked towards the back of it. Just found out there's a puddle of fuel back here. Not sure where that was coming from, but I'm glad I'm changing the carburetor. I thought I was smelling fuel. Just didn't see it anywhere. So I'm trying to put this carb on. I'm running into a little conundrum. The carb's longer than the Holly that was on there. And the back of it hits the EGR plate right here. And then the studs are too short to put any spacers on. And they're extra long studs because it goes through the EGR plate. I can't get rid of the EGR plate because it covers the hole in the intake. So do I throw this spacer on there? It's a 2-inch spacer. I'll figure it out later. Problem with adding the 2-inch spacer is then I have to raise the cable linkage 2 inches to match. And then my kickdown lever doesn't work. So I think I'm gonna contemplate my options and maybe sleep on it. I don't know. See what else I can figure out, I guess. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do and then I'll let you know. So hopefully I can get this thing running good after I change this carburetor, and I think it should. I was just looking down in the intake and I had a puddle of fuel, which would explain why it always sounded like it was flooded. So now I think I'm ready to put everything back together. So here's the problem I was having. Carburetor's hitting the EGR valve right here, and it hits the plate a little bit too. So for the two people that was wondering how I was going to fix this, what I'm going to do is make some new studs out of some all thread. And I'm going to run one of the thick gaskets. And that should space it just about right. And I think my throttle cable and everything will still hook up just fine. So I'm gonna get back into that, get it put together. Hopefully this thing will run good now. I was messing with this for a week. Ended up just being the carburetor. I thought maybe I screwed something up, but it sounds fine. I like it. Now it just needs some exhaust. Okay, so I finally took the truck for a drive the other day after picking it up from the exhaust shop. Didn't go very far because it wasn't quite done yet. One of the things I was missing was the top alternator bracket. I tried to get one from the junkyard, but they only had one for a 302, which isn't quite big enough, so I had to splice a piece on here. Don't look at the welds. It's not a welding show. I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of black. Make it look not so ugly. Once I get that on, it should be good to just go down the road. When that happens, I'll make sure I take you with me so we can all check it out. Okay, so I got the new bracket on there. Tightened all that stuff up real good. I think it's ready to fire up and take it for a drive. So I'll set the camera up, fire it up, so you can hear the engine, what it sounds like, the timing gears, so on and so forth. You hear those timing gears? Isn't that annoying? I'm not sure, but I think I hate it. So now what I think I want to do is run it through the car wash, get rid of the greasy handprints, and drive it somewhere where we can get a good walk around, check out everything, and you can see the almost finished product. I'm going to take a little drive out of town. We're going to go up this hill. See how loud it is from the inside, what it sounds like. On the way back, we'll put it on the outside and you can check it out. This seemed like as good a place as any to do a walk around on this thing. Got mountains in the background, some vineyards. Alright, let's check it out. So, the only thing that changed on the outside so far is pretty obvious. It's the stacks. Sounds pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? Put a comment down below if you like it or hate it. I got the old stake bed sides going. Did that this spring for just a fun, quick, easy project. There's the side with some sun on it. Another mountain in the background. Car wash didn't do much for that greasy spot. Right there. I got one more thing for you to check out. Picked up this old hood scoop yesterday. What do you think? Yes or no? Maybe so? I think it looks like it was made for it. Alright, I better get a picture for the thumbnail. Alright, we're gonna head back now. Kind of curious what it's going to sound like from back here. Let me know if it's good. Thought I'd get a shot of the tailgate since this is the end of the video. Thanks for checking it out. If you could leave a like or maybe subscribe, that'd be really cool. If you have any comments or questions, hit me up. I'll do the best I can to answer it. So I hope you really dig my truck build. I like it, except for the timing gears, so those might have to go pretty soon, but maybe we'll do a video on that. Well, thanks for damn train. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good day.